My name's Butch Rigby. I have the honor and privilege tonight of saying a couple words about Valerie Jennings, or Val as we call her. And first of all, welcome everybody to the Viral Bolt Media Launch Party. Big hand for everybody involved. A few of you around town might know that I own a little chain of movie theaters called Screenland Theaters, and like anything else, it's more sizzle than steak, and to keep those operations going, it was also developing real estate, and our main building was called the Screenland building over at 17th and Washington. And a few years ago, we converted that from an ice house into office space and the first Screenland Theater. And it was a very, eclectic space. It's always eclectic when you take former freezers and turn them into office space. But we had a new tenant arrive at the Screenland several years ago. And when I met the owner, I didn't know she was the owner. I thought she was the person that was showing the building, or she worked for the owner. She was just a kid, and even though she looks like just a kid today. And what I learned at that time when I met Valerie was she was not just a kid. She was not only graduating first in her class from up in Iowa at, I forgot which college now. What? Okay, all right. And she was well ahead of her time as far as the little thing called social media goes. And she had a long conversation. She was explaining her business to me and talking to me about, well, it's not public relations, even though it was Jennings Public Relations. She goes, it's not public relations. The future is in social media. I go, social media? Now, I know I've read social media. This is before Facebook and before all the booms, but what she was explaining to me was what we all know today, and that is that the social media aspect of public relations, the social media aspect of having yourself out there and known, is still and has always been one of the most important parts of business. I was so impressed with this fact because every single day that I knew her, I understood that she was on the forefront of this. And every single day that I knew her, I understood how my own business was indeed probably more reliant on social media. I would say Screenland Theaters gets 90 to 95% of our public relations, 90 to 95% of our promotions, and even some of our advertising is all through social media, whether it be Facebook. And so the idea now of taking that next step forward and being another leader again for Valerie with Viral Bolt Media makes sense to me, because it makes sense. This is the way we are looking at what would have been television commercials, years ago, what might have been any kind of a video medium here. It is getting that picture out. There are so many avenues, and to coordinate those avenues is once again impressive. So I am not only thrilled to know Valerie as a friend, but as a business associate, it was a terrific time when she was doing business with us. I no longer own that building. She's moved on to new offices, but we both remain friends and business associates. So I know there are a couple of people in line with me to talk about her, but again, congratulations, Valerie, and your whole crew.
We're going to start doing toes here a little bit. I'm going to stand a little closer to this lovely model here. My name is Kratofil. I'm a technology attorney here in town. I'm with the Polsinelli Shughart law firm, and I've had the privilege of working with Valerie and having several clients that have worked with Valerie. And Valerie and her entire team is very results oriented and very easy to work with, and often lawyers are not. So I've been in the trenches working with her on projects, getting things done, and she is fantastic in that regard. I'm very excited about Viral Bolt Media for several reasons. I mean, this launch party continues a culmination of exciting things going on in the Kansas City area and in the greater, kind of Midwest region in general. I mean, when I think about the future and what things like Google and Google Fiber are bringing to Kansas City, and to have that kind of unprecedented level of bandwidth available, the first thing that comes to mind is that YouTube and videos are going to be such a big part of that. And so I think that VBM is going to be right out in the front of what we're doing and some of the exciting things that we're going to be doing here in Kansas City in the future. And I know if any indication of what Val and her team has done in the past, we're going to look forward to some really cutting edge and new things in the future. So thank you all for coming. I'm going to pass it on to Greg, or to Steve. Here you go.
Thanks, Greg. Hi, my name is Steve Roatch. I own a company called Twentyseven Global. We're a software development company. First of all, a round of applause if you've heard of Twentyseven Global. Oh my God, everybody clapped. One year ago, we were not working with Jennings social media marketing, and I would ask that question and you would have heard crickets. And we engaged with Valerie, and she and her team have done a phenomenal job of getting our message out. One thing I can say is they are relevant. So what are the channels that are going to get us noticed in front of our clients today? They knew about it. Steve, you need to be on Facebook. We weren't on Facebook. You need to do a blog. You need to do all these things that we had no capability. So she and her team have done a phenomenal job and gotten our name out. I am not going to tell her the ROI. It's positive, it's large, because she would raise my rates. So here she is, having perfected Jennings social media marketing, and now she's launched a new business, Viral Bulb Media. And YouTube, they asked me in the other room, is YouTube the future? I said, no, it's the present. And most companies out there are not using this medium to the extent they should. And I think they'll find out how Valerie and her team can help them raise their market awareness through YouTube. So I'm very excited to become a client, and I'm very excited to see Valerie and her team succeed on this new business. Thanks.
Greg Elliott with 1102 Grand, and we've been with Jennings social media marketing for about 4 years. And let's face it, we're a 155,000 square foot building full of servers, and it's not terribly interesting. So Jennings has helped us make that interesting, and through social media, I think we might have been the first Viral Bulb Media customer with General Green. Look it up. General Green was an interesting video. And then we've also made some videos, also virtual tours of our building, and it's been very exciting. So publicly wanted to thank Valerie and Micah and the team for all you've done for us. Thank you very much.
Greg, you just reminded me, I still remember the day Valerie asked to borrow my video camera.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I believe you had this concept after a lunch we had, and I discussed some of the, I really enjoyed hearing the other speakers give synopsis of the trust and the integrity that you've had as a business person. I've had the opportunity to work with Valerie at Roof Strategic Solutions over the last 6, 8, 7 years. I've lost track, but she's become a trusted member of our, not only of all of our associates, but a team member with her team that become, in essence, people that you can depend on and get things done. So I'm a results-oriented person and really appreciate when people jump to attention and get service and get work done. So our company at Roof, we have even a more boring, probably business than data servers, but statistical data analytics of actually some social media data now, which I became intrigued with after knowing Valerie. So I searched out some data sets, and now we have a social media index influencer, which is basically like a credit score that defines who has the most friends. Okay, I won't talk about my dog. But thank you for giving me the concept to even consider it. So I do really want to commend Valerie on what she's doing here. And Social media works, by the way. Look at the turnout we have at this event. Give everybody a hand, and thank you for all the team for helping. She has a lot of good help, and that's what makes a good executive, is when you know how to hire people that are smart and can get things done. So with that, I want to also thank you. Viral Bolt Media is going to be the way of the future, just like we've talked about YouTube and the bandwidth needs with Google Fiber, and we're seeing a whole disintermediation of retailers between the customer. Everybody will be going direct, and so if you can send your infomercial and make it edgy, consider the Super Bowl, for instance, and the commercials that some people just watch and they don't watch the game. Well, if you can make a commercial that would show on the Super Bowl where you waste a lot of marketing dollars per impression, consider that you could target an edgy infomercial directly to your end users with micro-targeted effectiveness. That's where this goes. The ability to really tune video directly to the audience so that you can pull the data back. What are these peas? Whose mic is this? This is my mic. So anyway, I think my time's up. Thank you, Valerie, and I really appreciate everything you've done for Roots Strategic Movement.
Wow, our speakers are amazing, our hosts are amazing. Can you all just give a round of applause for everybody who's worked so hard on this party? Thank you. Thank you. I just want to recognize a few people who put in a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. Allison McGowan, thank you so much for everything you did for this party. Also, I have to recognize our president of Jennings Social Media Marketing. All these compliments could not be said without her. Micah Pratt, thank you so much for being here. And somebody else, very important. You may not know Benjamin Parks, but he works very hard behind the scenes. He does all of our web design development for WordPress. He does all the Facebook tabs. He is the genius behind all the social media monetization. When we say that we monetize our clients' products and services, Ben is a huge part of that. Benjamin Parks, please thank him. And we have some new people on the team at Viral Bolt Media. Some of them couldn't join us tonight. They're up in Michigan. Chelsea Lewis, also editor up there, Dennis Corsi. We have some folks in Pennsylvania, Cassie Stubbs, and our finance director, Robin O'Connell. And there's several others that help us that are very successful in both companies. Something I want to tell you that Butch touched on. Very long ago, it seems long ago, we jumped into social media back in 2006. And our first client was a dirt track racing client. Sounds a little bizarre, but they tasked us with, hey, you're a PR firm. We want to broadcast the dirt track races live on the internet. How do we do that? How do you take PR and you make it modern and you show conversions? We said, sure. This is when social media was being talked about, Technorati, blogging, Digit. People were, starting to use that lingo, but it wasn't a household term. Now it is. Now everybody knows about Facebook. Now Kansas City is known as Silicon Prairie. Who knew that would happen? I want to ask a question. How many of you in here are entrepreneurs or want to be entrepreneurs? Raise your hand, please. Wow. Oh, about 50% of the crowd. I believe that Kansas City is the gateway to entrepreneurship. I believe that this is the place, if you want to start a business, you will succeed. I moved here in 2003. I didn't know anybody. Adam Tapp, who's here tonight, he took a chance on me. Adam, please raise your hand. Thank you for being here tonight. I started in politics, believe it or not. Convenient time. So I got acquainted with Kansas City and everything that Kansas City has to offer. I never want to leave Kansas City. We have clients everywhere, all over the US, overseas. This is home. We are so grateful to everybody has demonstrated their support, their commitment, who took a chance on somebody they didn't know. And I want to say thank you, and thank you to everybody who came tonight. Please, round of applause for everyone who's continuing to support entrepreneurship in KC and our team. Thank you so much. I think we're running a little short on time. I think there's some more alcohol, some more food. Thank our Venetian models for our kickoff. I hope you all enjoyed that. Thank you. And please stay in touch with us. And if you have any interest in BBM, make sure you reach out. We'd love to talk to you, no matter how early you may be in YouTube. We'd love to hear your thoughts and what you'd like to do with your business. Thank you so much for being here.